Kwidiri, live on Salam Media, your home of humanitarian journalism. And as the humanitarian crisis in Palestine continues, organizations on the ground remain quite steadfast in their efforts to provide aid and relief to those in need. And one such organization is Islamic Relief South Africa, which has been actively working in Palestine since 1997, delivering essential humanitarian support to communities affected by decades of occupation and violence. And after 15 months of a relentless bombardment, the genocide that we all saw with our eyes, it was live streamed, the people of Gaza continue to face unimaginable hardship with widespread destruction and a dire need for medical aid, food, and shelter. And while the recent ceasefires provided temporary relief, the humanitarian challenges rather remain quite immense. And with Ramadan fast approaching, efforts to assist the people of Gaza take on even greater urgency. And joining us now is Aadila Sirkoth. She's a regional fundraising coordinator at Islamic Relief South Africa, and she'll be helping us just dissect the current situation in Gaza, Islamic Relief's ongoing efforts, and how communities worldwide, you and me, can contribute to relief and recovery efforts. Aadila, Aadila, thank you so much for joining us. How are you?
Assalamu alaikum, and again, thank you so much for having us. It's always a pleasure to be back on Salam Media.
The pleasure's all ours. I think first and foremost, one thing that stood out for me is just how long Islamic Relief has been on the ground in Palestine. It's been decades now. Over the past 15 months of, this continuous bombardment and this genocide that we've witnessed, how has Islamic Relief continued their support for the people of Gaza and have done more than what they've done in the previous years?
So, as you mentioned, Islamic Relief has been on the ground since 1997 in Palestine. But just if we dissect into the last 15 months of bombardment from Israel and what Islamic Relief has done. So Alhamdulillah, Islamic Relief has been in the forefront, and we've been providing critical support to people of Gaza during these 15 months. And the life-saving assistance that we've been able to provide to date is food packs, fresh meals to families. We've also been able to distribute medical supplies to the overwhelmed hospitals. We've also been able to provide water for drinking, sanitation, and hygiene packs to those that are in critical shortage. We're also supporting families with non-food items like kitchen utensils, bedding, clothing. And one thing that's super important that we actually take for granted is that Islamic Relief has been able to offer psychosocial support to children and mothers impacted by the ongoing trauma that they've been facing for the last 15 months, or rather the last 75 years in Palestine.
The recent ceasefire has provided a somewhat, brief moment of relief for the people of Gaza, but the devastation is still quite overwhelming. Can you give us an update on the humanitarian situation right now from what your teams on the ground have observed and some of the key challenges that still remain?
Like you said, the ceasefire has just brought a momentarily sense of calm. So the humanitarian Gaza is still very, very dire. There's been years of conflict and blockade, which has left the region devastated. The scale of destruction is staggered. It's staggering. With 60% of Gaza completely destroyed, Palestinians return to their homes which once stood, and now there's nothing but just rubble. Vital infrastructure, including schools, hospitals, water facilities, have been decimated, leaving families without basic services. Despite the challenges, the resilience of the people of Gaza is unwavering. Islamic Relief remains dedicated to alleviating their suffering and working towards a long-term recovery and stability for the people of Gaza.
Speaking on recovery, I want to touch on exactly that, recovery and rebuilding efforts. Beyond emergency relief, long-term recovery is quite crucial. What are some of the key programs that Islamic Relief is implementing to help rebuild the lives and some of the infrastructure in Gaza?
So, Alhamdulillah, Islamic Relief has a range of targeted programs that we committed in Gaza to help recover. Um, so, some of them include food security, so providing food packages, vouchers, hot meals to combat the hunger. And then we expanding to multi-purpose cash assistance and livelihoods to support empower of self-resilient people. So giving them money to restart their life. Then we've got health, which is to improve the access to medical service, especially for women and children and the elderly and those with disability. We will be supporting healthcare providers with medical supplies and facilitating procedures and staff incentives. Um, we also, like I mentioned earlier, we're doing non-food items and shelter, which would be distributing essential items to kitchen, like kitchen sets, bedding, and anything that they might need in their home. We're also going to be introducing solar energy systems for home appliances and transitional shelter to provide stability. We've also got an education program, which is going to be supplying students with school kits and rehabilitating schools with that have light to moderate damage. In those schools, we will be providing basic furniture and equipment to ensure it's a conducive learning environment. Then we've got our WASH program, which is our water sanitation and hygiene program. And this will be to deliver safe water and hygiene kits for immediate relief to the people that need it most. And then we will be rehabilitating infrastructure that could help with water sanitation and hygiene to restore sustainable access of water and sanitation services to the people of Gaza. We've then got a protection program, which, like I said earlier, is something that's very, very important and something that is often neglected, is offering psychosocial support to address the immediate trauma. So we will be expanding to family counseling and long-term resilience building initiatives. And then these efforts are focused on empowering Gaza's community to rebuild their lives with dignity, sustainability, and hope for the future.
No, definitely. I think some really, really amazing programs that you guys have lined up. Ramadan is fast approaching, and we all know that during this time the need for aid will only increase. How is Islamic Relief preparing to step up its efforts to ensure that food, medical supplies, and essential assistance reaches those in need during this very, very critical and crucial time?
Alhamdulillah, there's 30 days to Ramadan. Islamic Relief has a dedicated Ramadan program that provides essential assistance to families in need. So through these programs, we deliver food packs or fitra packs to ensure that families can break their fast with dignity. Not only in Gaza, but this initiative spans over 31 countries globally, including here in South Africa, where we can support our vulnerable communities right on our doorstep. Just a reminder to all the listeners, Ramadan is a time of compassion and giving, and Islamic Relief will increase its efforts to support Gaza during this sacred month. This is the time to come together in solidarity and expand our hands to those who are enduring immense hardship around the world.
No, definitely. And just before I let you go, those that want to lend a helping hand, those that want to get involved, how do they get hold of you guys?
Islamic Relief has offices in Johannesburg for those that are listening from Johannesburg. We've also got offices in Cape Town and Durban, and we will be open throughout Ramadan. We are open every single day as well. We also have volunteer initiatives. You will be seeing us at markets, pop-ups, collecting funds for Palestine. We also have our website for those that are not outgoing people that like to donate from home, so they can donate from the website at www.islamic-relief.org.za. Inshallah, we look forward to seeing you, seeing all our supporters throughout the month of Ramadan and at our pre-Ramadan pop-ups, etc., all in aid of Palestine, inshallah.
I mean, and we're going to leave on that note. Aadila, jazakallah so much for chatting to us. Always a pleasure, and assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Jazakallah for having us.
There's Aadila Sirkoth. She's the regional coordinator of fundraising at Islamic Relief South Africa. And yeah, you can get involved. You can go out to their website, www.islamic-relief.org.za, and you can lend a helping hand. I think some really brilliant initiatives that they have lined up. And I think the focus for me and what they are doing differently is how the focus is on restoring the dignity of the people of Gaza. Making sure that they have water, they have, facilities for ablution, and, they have food to eat, they have electricity, just the little things that we take for granted, when you're so far away from what happened in Gaza. And I think it's really, really amazing work. So you can head out to their website, www.islamic-relief.org.za, or you can search Islamic Relief on their various social media platforms. And you can help, in whatever little way that you can, as we start seeing the little green shoots of rebuilding and reconstruction of Gaza after 15 months of complete and utter horror. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Gaza picks itself up. They've always done it. This is not the first time, but the difference is this time you can lend a helping hand via Islamic Relief South Africa. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, news and views continues after this.